Hey guys, this is video 2.9. Now we're going to talk about noble gas notation in terms of electron configurations. You may have been thinking after the last video, so what happens when we get down to something like gold, okay, on the periodic table? Do we really have to write it all the way out? And the answer to that is no, okay? Understanding kind of the flow is going to make bonding easier later on and kind of the energy, excuse me, that's related to those. And for those of you taking AP, it's going to be something that's going to help you later on as well. But really, all that we're really interested about in this level of chemistry, guys, are these things called valence electrons. And we're going to talk about them all throughout the year. They are electrons that are in the outermost energy level that participate in bonding. All the inner shell ones, they will not, excuse me, they will not really take place with anything, so we're not too interested in them at this level. Noble gas notation is a shorthand way to write the electron configurations. Noble gases are very interesting because they are what we call noble because they're full, they're stable, okay? And we'll talk more about that later on. So we can use them as a reference point when we write out our configurations, okay, so, to shorten it. So for example, if I have sodium, all right here, if I were to write it out, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, or excuse me, 3s1, okay, that would be the long way. That's not too bad because it's only element 11. But if we take a look, neon, which was the noble gas up here in the period before we get to sodium, it would have a configuration of 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Okay, and that's considered to be stable because it has the magic number of 8 valence electrons. Okay, helium's the only one that has 2, and we'll talk more about that later in the year as well. So what we can do now is, since we're going to reference neon that was stable with its inner electrons, we can write sodiums to kind of take place of that, because that's the same. So we can just write Ne and put brackets around it, saying that, hey, what's in the brackets is represented here as 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, so that we don't have to write all that out. All we need to write then are the valence electrons, which is this part right here. So we would just write 3s1 because that's really the only electron we're concerned about. Okay, so what we're going to do for noble gas notations, find your element and go all the way up to where the last filled noble gas was, so up and over to the right, and then that's going to be your reference point for the noble gas notation. So I would encourage you guys to pause the video and try these next three. Try chlorine, yttrium, and tungsten and see how you do. Okay, come back and check the answers. So for chlorine, I'm going to clear up my periodic table here. Okay, chlorine is right here. So the first thing I need to figure out is, okay, what was my noble gas? My last filled noble gas, and that would be neon. Okay, so I'm going to write down neon and put brackets around it. So that takes care of all these first 10 electrons that I don't have to worry about. All I now need to write is these two and these 5. So I would pick it up at, okay, what energy level? So those two are at 3s, and there's 2 of them. And then I'm in the 3p block for these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until I get up to chlorine. So this is 3p5. Okay, so if that helped, pause it again. Try to change things up or try them on your own now. All right. I'll be honest, the hardest part, guys, is finding the elements sometimes. So yttrium, right here. So I'm going to go up and over. So krypton is where my starting point is going to be. Notice that takes care of the first 36 electrons that I don't have to worry about now because they are all written here in krypton. So all I have to worry about are these two and this guy. So notice this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're down here in the 5th energy level, the 5th principal level. So this is going to be 5s2, and that takes care of these first 2. And now this guy. Here's the trick, right? Because now what block am I in? This middle block is the D block. You got to remember, the D block is one number behind whatever your last S was. So we were in the 5s. That means this is the 4D, and I go 1 into that to get to yttrium. So again, if you feel more confident now and you haven't tried one on your own, definitely try this last one, guys, on your own. So tungsten. Again, the hardest part is finding it sometimes. We're right here. So up and over, xenon is where I will be starting. Okay, so now I'm going to be in the 6th energy level, 6s2. Ooh, notice something I forgot to mention before. Now we've got these blank spots, right? So when we fill these in, we go 6s down here then to the F block, then back up here. Now, why have I not worried about this? Because you're not going to see this on the Regents, guys. You're not going to be asked a configuration all the way through the F block. But how we would go about this is we go 6s, then if you look back at your this little chart right here from your notes yesterday, right? If we go back through here, we go 6s, we're right here, 4d, 5p, 6s, then we go back up here and we fill it in like that. Again, these are extreme cases that we're not going to see in Regents. I wanted to throw one at you so you are aware of it. So this would be 4f14. Then we go back to the D to 5D, 1, 2, 3 to get to that. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So take some time, practice this. If you have questions, ask. If not, I will see you in the next video.